Hello, namaste, and a very, very good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into Radio Nagarik 96.5 megahertz. And time has started for Namaste Nepal. Welcome to Namaste Nepal. Here is your voice, Mandira. And today as well, we have a very amazing guest with us. And Namaste Nepal is so happy to feature wonderful people, talented people, and amazing people. And also because their stories are so amazing and things that they've been doing are so great. So yes, today it's going to be an amazing show as well with this amazing person. So on our daily basis, daily commuters, daily हामी काममा जान्छौँ आफ्नो daily कामको लागि or any other purpose हामी transportation use गरिरहेका हुन्छौँ. It's a very very inseparable part of our daily lives, just transportation. So हामीले public transport use गर्छौँ. हाम्रो आफ्नो private vehicle छ भने हामी आफ्नो private vehicle use गरिरहेका हुन्छौँ. Or daily बेसिसमा हाम्रो काम पुरा गर्नको लागि चाहिँ हामीले कुनै न कुनै माध्यमबाट चाहिँ ट्रान्सपोर्टेसनको लागि भेहिकलहरू युज गरिरहेका हुन्छौँ र यो आई थिङ्क होल प्रोसेसमा चाहिँ हामी एकदम धेरै प्रब्लमहरूबाट पनि गुज्रिरहेका हुन्छौँ. प्राइभेट ट्राभल जो गर्नुहुन्छ टु विलर्स अथवा फोर विलर्स प्रयोग गर्नुहुन्छ उहाँहरूको ट्राफिकको प्रब्लम आफ्नो कन्सर्न त्यही नै छ. बट एटलिस्ट दे हेभ देयर ओन राइड एन्ड दे क्यान ट्राभल अन देयर ओन. बट पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन जसले युज गर्नुहुन्छ उहाँहरूको टाइम म्यानेजमेन्ट, उहाँहरूको mental state, because when you go through public transportation you have a lot of concerns. गाडीमा problems अथवा तपाईलाई time management problem अथवा basically we've been hearing that अहिलेको काठमाडौँको सिचुएसनमा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन एक त गाडी नै कम पाइन्छ, भेरी एकदम ठेलमठेल भएको गाडीमा एकदम भिड भएको गाडीमा बसेर you were compelled to travel through those vehicles. So यो सबै सिनारियोको बीचमा there is this great concept called Doodle. Doodle is a concept where you have a rider who is going to pick you up and who is going to receive you, pick you up, and then transport you to your destination. And यो त मैले एक लाइनमा डिफाइन गरेँ. So यो concept के हो? What is Doodle and how did it come? Or we want to know everything about Doodle basically. So today we have with us the CEO and co-founder of Doodle, Mr. Sixit Bhatta. Sixit, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And well, I basically love the idea of picking you up from wherever you are and transporting you to where you want to go.
Right.
So your idea, कसरी आयो? I mean, how did it come up for you to think about what drove you actually to come up with this idea?
See, the first thing that one needs to understand is that it's the concept of sharing economy. Yeah, we've moved on to this new concept where we share our resources.
Right.
For example, it's same like, if you are someone who is coming out of Kathmandu, you don't have a house. You rent a room or a floor, right?
Sure.
And because someone has an asset, which is a house, and they can afford to give you a room or two or a floor on rent.
Right.
So they can share their resources, isn't it? But with technologies that have been developed or with the capacities around technology that has been improved, today what we can do is you can also share a ride. Okay. While sharing a resource, such as a room or a floor, could be done in a monthly or a weekly basis.
Right.
Here you have to share on per ride basis. So it's a concept of sharing economy that's evolving throughout the world, and which is a big need because your resources are going to be limited. And for Kathmandu particularly, look at the number of people that are there who are facing daily challenges in moving around, isn't it? Unlike any other city, what we realized was that this is more than a challenge. For example, think about yourself. If you don't own your commute,
right,
and if Doodle weren't there,
wasn't there, yeah,
your freedom to movement would be restricted, isn't it?
Right.
But don't you think
or
freedom
limited to
or
few
limited
sources?
So if you don't own your own vehicle, you do not have that freedom to move, right? So I think Doodle is basically a platform that allows you with the freedom to move as if you had your own vehicle. So that's where it comes from. as a business model.
Right. Before we go to my next question or next concern, I want to ask you, did you tutor today or did you come up on your own ride to the station, to radio?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we start our services from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. only.
Okay.
So I had to be here at 7:50, otherwise I would have to definitely.
Wow. Okay, great. So we're sharing this idea of taking ride and fulfilling our transportation need. So in this context, like we've been hearing at least a lot of positive feedback on this service and how especially young people are aware of this app and they've been using this app. Let's talk about the other chunk of people who aren't aware of mobile apps, and then they're not used to using mobile apps, or basically they have least knowledge on using a smartphone in a smart way, or say in an optimal manner. So how do you think we want to see in that part?
One of the things is that what I've realized working for technology for several years is that people leapfrog. Okay. For example, if you look at Nepal, we grew up watching a color television.
Or black and white.
We didn't. I mean, we straight away started our generation at least started with color television.
Right.
Most of the people in rural areas of Nepal started communicating via mobile phone, while most of the rural people in US or most of the people abroad would have grown up using their communications with a landline phone, isn't it? So I think human beings have this capacity to leapfrog, and people from our countries do have that capacity, so they would leapfrog in terms of that. And we've had several examples where even the elderlies are using our app.
Right.
It's just a matter of time when they catch up. It's a very simple process.
Okay.
I mean, think about the complexities of using a feature phone.
Right.
The old Nokias and all.
Right.
I mean, smartphone is much more easier, isn't it? It happens
They
with the
are.
time.
They are,
isn't it? So as we progress in time, as the technology develops, it's going to be more seamless, which also means that more and more people would find it easier to use technology.
Right.
But for a fact, it's true that it's the youngsters who are the early adopters of our platform. And it's also important because they are also going to be the opinion leaders.
Right.
They're the ones who are going to tell their parents. They're the ones who are going to tell their brothers and sisters to use the services. And that population is also the largest population in this country. Half of our population is below 23.
Right.
We are a very young country.
Yes.
So that's a perfect market fit for us.
I think you've done your market study and basically everything that comes under your concern for coming up a concept like this in a very well manner. And that's how I think you've been also putting yourself up for a lot of challenges and competitions. Whereas हाम्रो global startup competition Slush is it so Slushma you've won yourself from Nepal, and you're representing yourself as a startup concept or idea globally, which is going to take place in Helsinki this year. So tell us about winning yourself these competitions. And also, if I remember, Seed Start is another challenge that you've been putting up with your idea. So tell us about featuring your ideas in these global platforms.
Slush is a platform where we've been selected for addressing the sustainable development goals and solving complex and pressing problems. If you look at a Tutu, at the tip of the pyramid, it solves your transportation needs.
Yes.
But at the base of the pyramid, which people don't see, it's also creating jobs, isn't it? For hundreds and thousands of people.
Right.
While as we speak, there are our brothers and sisters who are working in the Middle East or even in Malaysia right now. And Nepal could face a labor shortage by 2030.
Right.
It's also creating these jobs whereby we could retain the people.
You want to retain, yes.
Yeah. People can easily earn up to 2,000 rupees a day, 1,500 rupees a day. That's a sizable income, and that could allow people with a minimum investment of a motorbike.
Okay.
Right. So it's creating number of jobs in the economy.
Right.
So that's one part. The other part is that if people share their motorbike, if you look at the streets outside Kathmandu, 8 out of 10 motorbikes would go empty, isn't it?
Right.
Now, if everyone were to share their rear seats, which is a spare capacity that they have, we're also putting less vehicles on the street. We also solve traffic problems, isn't it? Our emissions are going to go
That
down.
is also going to affect on the consumption of our gas.
Gas and emissions.
Yes.
And our long-term future is to do it on an electric motorbike because Kathmandu is perfect for electric transportation, isn't it? So creating jobs and these kind of things are very important part of the sustainable development goals. So while we allow people with the freedom of movement, we are also doing so many other things, isn't it? So it's because of that we've been selected to attend and compete at Slush, where we'll have meetings with different global leaders and hopefully win the competition there.
Right. I think you will, because your ideas and the way you look at it is so different and really amazing. So I wish you all the best and for you and for your team. And also thank you for coming up with this amazing idea. I think there's still a lot to know about it, and we will have our conversation further. But right now we would like to take a musical break. So we want to go for a song right now. And हामीलाई अहिले सुन्दै हुनुहुने हाम्रो सम्पूर्ण श्रोताहरू धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद. रेडियो नागरिक 96.5 सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ यहाँहरू. कार्यक्रम हो नमस्ते नेपाल. अहिलेको लागि एउटा गीत हामी राख्न गइरहेका छौँ. आज हामी कुराकानी गर्ने क्रममा छौँ सिक्षित भट्टसँग. उहाँ हुनुहुन्छ CEO र को-फाउन्डर टुटल एपको लागि. टुटल एउटा यस्तो एप हो अथवा यस्तो माध्यम हो जहाँ तपाईँले आफ्नो मोबाइल एपबाट चाहिँ तपाईँ जहाँ हुनुहुन्छ त्यहाँबाट त्यो ठाउँबाट तपाईँले तपाईँले ट्राभल गरेर आफ्नो कामको लागि अथवा अरू कुनै पर्पसको लागि अरू कुनै डेस्टिनेसनमा जानु छ भने सो एपबाट तपाईँले आफ्नो राइड बुक गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ र तपाईँलाई चाहिँ तपाईँ जहाँ हुनुहुन्छ त्यही तपाईँलाई पिक गर्न आउनुहुन्छ. सो त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ तपाईँले आफ्नो डेस्टिनेसनसम्म पुग्न सक्नुहुनेछ. यसको बारेमा अझ थप हामी जानकारी यहाँलाई दिने नै छौँ कुराकानीको क्रममा. अहिलेको लागि विल गो फर दिस वन्डरफुल नम्बर. दिस वान इज गुड टाइम बाई अल सिटी. टेक अ लिसन. विल बी राइट ब्याक. Alright, welcome back after the commercial break. सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ रेडियो नागरिक 96.5 मेगाहर्ट्ज. कार्यक्रम हो नमस्ते नेपाल र आज नमस्ते नेपालमा हामी कुराकानी गर्ने क्रममा छौँ टुटलबाट CEO एन्ड को-फाउन्डर शिक्षित भट्टसँग. कुराकानी गर्ने क्रममा नै हामी रहेका छौँ र टुटल एपले अहिले जुन किसिमले आफ्नो सुविधाहरू दिइरहेको छ हामी नर्मल जेनरल पब्लिकलाई ट्रान्सपोर्टेसनमा चाहिँ यो क्रममा चाहिँ होइन शिक्षितजी कस्तो खालको केही इन्सिडेन्टहरू तपाईँले भोग्नुभएको छ अथवा देख्नुभएको छ नर्मल व्यक्तिहरूले तपाईँको सर्भिस लिनु हुँदाखेरिको फिडब्याकहरू अथवा आर देयर एनी अदर स्पेसिफिक पिपल हु हेभ सब्सक्राइब टु यर सर्भिस or any specific incident that you'd like to share with us?
Well, yeah, it's pretty interesting, you know. One of those days we had a couple of bookings that came from around Pulchok area.
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
Okay.
And, these two people travel to Chobar. So we can actually track where people go. It's for the security, so we keep a close eye on what's happening.
Okay.
And, we're surprised because people don't usually go to Chobar and come back. So next day, one of our bikers called up us and told us that, we took 2 visually impaired people to Chobar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason is that our app is fully accessible to the blind people. And that's our effort of making the app inclusive to everyone.
Great.
And even for a female, you have a choice of booking a ride with a female biker only.
Only.
So that's also our effort to make the app inclusive, gender inclusive. So going back to the conversation, so these 2 people went to Chobar, and the story was that they wanted to have a breath of fresh air
Okay.
at Chobar. So these 2 gentlemen told our bikers, could you wait for 5 minutes? We just want to have a breath of fresh air and return back to our places, because we normally cannot do that. That was very inspiring to us, these stories, And we made more efforts. We called those people into our office, and we took feedback as to how we can improve our services for the people who are visually impaired. And these are people who use our services regularly. And I guess there are more around 100 visually impaired people who use our services every day.
Right.
So even though these population is not large in number in terms of the market size, but the kind of impact that we are creating in their lives, I think, is very huge.
Right.
The reason being that they do not have any other choice when it comes to public transport, isn't it?
Right, right. And also because I thought the factor that got them to Tootle is that they could trust on you, and they were safe with you.
And it's also a point-to-point transport for them. So if they book a ride, someone is going to hold them, put them in the bike and drop to their doorsteps.
Okay.
So Tootle is not only a means of transport for them, it's a travel companion. It's their ears and eyes, right? So we are their eyes and ears. Right?
Great.
And by that, what we believe is that dignity is the same for all of us, whether you are able, disabled, whether you're male, female, dignity remains the same. So we provide them with the dignity of transport in a most dignified manner because they do not have to rely on anyone else. Right? So, and we're very happy about it.
Wow. So in the same context, since we were also talking about we get to choose our riders, we get to choose our drivers. So what's the management like? How do you outsource your drivers, or how can riders apply to be a part of Tootle?
The first thing is that we don't call them drivers. It could be you and me.
Okay.
Right? They're normal people.
Okay.
Because we want to create this platform and a society where people help each other by sharing their rides. So we call them partners.
Partners.
Yeah. So today you could be giving a ride to someone, and tomorrow you could be taking a ride with someone, isn't it?
Okay.
By putting your own bike in your own parking lot. So we call them partners, and people can sign up by providing their license numbers and details into our website or through the app. After that, we do certain due diligence.
Okay.
We invite them to come to our office or meet them and orient them on how the technology and how it works.
Okay.
And then they can go and provide rides.
Okay. But then do they have to commit a certain time for providing their...
It's a concept of freelance entrepreneurship, Whenever you have time, you can just go online and work.
But is that going to affect your management system? Like Tootle app ma चाहिँ हामीले मेरो ride book गर्नु पर्यो भने the nearest destination मा भएका riderहरू would get to me. But then so in this context, the earlier conversation मा हामीले जुन कुरा गर्दाखेरि ridersहरूले चाहिँ आफ्नो convenient time मा मात्र service दिने भन्ने कुराहरू छ, attachment or involvement with Tootle. So does it going to
there's so many bikers around, isn't it? So people have different times of convenience. Someone might feel convenient to give a ride between 8 to 10 in the morning. Someone might find it convenient to give a ride between 6 to 8 in the evening. So different people have their different convenient times. So it's managing them and managing their times and also providing the services to our clients. By no means I'm saying that we are perfect. We're still trying to improve our service, and it's going to take some time before we get there. But I think it's a good start for all of us.
So it means that the two-wheelers especially, of course two-wheelers for now, so they are not registered under Tootle. All of the vehicles which are being used for this service are from some of the other personal users or riders.
We don't even have a single motorbike ourselves. We don't even own a single motorbike. Therefore it becomes a sharing economy in true concept. We don't own a single motorbike. Not even one.
I think it's really amazing the way you've been managing the whole concept. I mean, and the impact especially makes a lot of sense. Wow, I think this is really, really something that people would want to know more and more about. So right here we are going to take another break, or maybe a song and then a short break, and then we'll be back for sure. Namaste Nepal सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ यहाँहरु. अहिलेको लागि यो मिठो गीत सिने गुरुङको गीत राख्न चाहन्छौं र त्यसपश्चात हामी पुनः उपस्थित हुनेछौं. सुन्दै गर्नुहोस् रेडियो नागरिकमा नमस्ते नेपाल. रेडियो नागरिक 96.5 सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ र यो हो कार्यक्रम नमस्ते नेपाल. हरेक बिहीबार 8 देखि 9 बजेसम्म बिहानीको समयमा सुन्न सक्नुहुनेछ नमस्ते नेपाल र म हुँ मन्दिरा. तपाईको साथमा रहेकी छु र हामी आज कुराकानी गर्ने क्रममा छौं टुटल एपका सीईओ र को-फाउन्डर सिक्सित भट्टसँग. र टुटल एपको बारेमा अहिले थुप्रै अघि हामीले कुरा गर्ने क्रममा चाहिँ मेन्सन पनि गरेका थियौं कि थुप्रै नयाँ युवा जमातहरूले चाहिँ प्रयोग गर्दै आउनु भएको पनि छ र उहाँहरूमा एकदम अहिले यो चल्न पनि थाल्छ भइसकेको छ र यसलाई चाहिँ अब रेगुलर हाउस होल्ड युजको लागि अथवा सबै वर्गमा चाहिँ पुर्याउनको लागि चाहिँ कसरी कामहरू हुँदैछ भन्ने कुरा पनि हामीले यहाँहरूमा सेयर गरेका थियौँ एन्ड इन द सेम कन्टेक्स्ट शिक्षित हामीले चाहिँ डेली कामको लागि जुन ट्रान्सपोर्टेसनको प्रयोग गर्ने कुरा रहेको छ त्यसमा मैले अघि इनिसियल स्टार्टिङमा जुन मेन्सन गरेँ द्याट पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसनमा अहिले हामीले 13 सिटर भेहिकलमा यु हेभ like 16 or 17 people त्यही भेहिकलमा हामीले एकदम बाध्य भएर ट्राभल गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ होइन सो त्यो खालको सिचुएसनबाट जो गुज्रिनुहुन्छ त्यो वर्गको व्यक्तिहरू उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ हामीले कसरी नलेज अथवा अवेर गराउन सक्छौँ त्यहाँनिर हुन त अघि नै अलिकति सेयर गर्नुभयो द्याट हाम्रो फ्यामिली मेम्बरहरूबाट नै सेयर हुन सक्छन् मेबी द यङ जेनेरेसन लाइक कलेज गोवर्स who are aware about Tootle and they could share this to their parents but is there any other direct way that could make these people aware about Tootle?
Yeah, I mean see it's at the end of the day to get to that population it has to be an intuitive behavior for all of us. So for example, if I were to ask you how would you go home after this show, the first thing that will come to your mind would be your own vehicle or taxi. Tootle will not come to your mind.
Right.
So Tootle right now is somewhere in the bottom of the mind for majority of people, isn't it?
Sure, I think.
So the idea is to bring it at the top of the mind. So that will take some time. But we are doing a good start with youngsters. It has to build on to their daily habits.
Right.
And as more and more people continue using it, do it for 2-3 times, it becomes their habit. And once it becomes a habit, so whenever they think of going somewhere,
right.
Tootle should come to their mind, at the top of their mind. So it's about bringing it at the top of people's mind at the end of the day. But it does not happen right away. It will run its own course. And it'll take some time before we get there, but I'm sure we'll get there. And the whole idea is to make Tootle like a flowing water.
Okay.
Right. In a country where you do not have flowing water or electricity, we do have electricity right now, but we didn't a couple of years ago.
Right.
Our idea is to make your ride like a flowing water, which means by a push of a button,
right,
your bike should be right there in 2 minutes or less.
Okay.
That's the whole idea, and we want to strive to get there.
Okay. So if you look at it, just the matter of transporting yourself from one destination to the other, then you are also directly competing or say at the forefront of other local transportation services. Then what do you think are the challenges that you are facing right now? Or is there any challenge? Or in future, do you see any possible threat to your concept, to your thing that you're doing?
What happens is we're not competing you compete for a market that's limited. You normally don't compete for a market that's unlimited and is growing. Okay. If you look at this population size of Kathmandu, it's 3.4 million.
Right.
You've just shared the number of people that hang by in a 13-seater three-wheeler.
Yeah.
That's an overcapacity. That's and people are coming to this city, or for that matter, the market is growing always. So we are just serving the market, isn't it? Where there is a need, where there is a demand, we're just serving the market.
Right.
And in doing so, we are creating jobs for so many people. That's the whole idea.
Oh, sure. I think, yes.
Say, for example, if there are 50,000 transport entrepreneurs who are making a living in the city, we want to also create 50,000, 100,000 transport entrepreneurs who use their motorbikes to make their living without cutting into the 50,000 that are existing.
Right.
And there is a market size that can serve that. So I don't think there is any real threat that we have given to any other people. We're just serving the market.
Right.
We're helping people. And more importantly, we're creating jobs.
Right in the middle of the conversation, something struck me was that safety measures, like your app or Tootle does have a mechanism of tracking the distance or the destinations and the route as well. But do people need to be aware of safety measures, or I'm sure safety concerns are there foremost important thing. And then the other side of safety measures would be what if touch wood, there won't be any accidents or any mishaps, but is there any mechanisms or is there any process that would take care of these unavoidable situations?
See, number one, we are a platform like YouTube, isn't it? If someone puts up a content there which is not valid, YouTube cannot be held responsible. Someone stalks you on Facebook cannot be responsible. So we are a platform that connects the rider and the biker, number one. So we do not have a legal liability towards these things, but we think that we have a moral obligation. Having a legal and a moral obligation are two different things.
Very different things.
So for that, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get into arrangement with insurance companies to insure all our rides. We're in the final process of doing that. And the concerns of safety that you raised is pretty valid, and that's the question that I've always been asked. And that also comes because hitching a ride on a motorbike and giving a ride on a motorbike is not an existing behavior in Nepal, and so it's non-intuitive. And when the behavior is non-intuitive, you tend to question so many things. For example, I'll tell you.
Right.
But your behavior of getting into a taxi is an intuitive behavior. And even when you get inside a taxi with an unknown person, you don't raise any safety concerns, isn't it?
Right.
Because that's more intuitive behavior. But the guy who is driving the taxi is also a person who is unknown to you.
Right.
The hundreds of people inside a public bus are also unknown to you. And there could be the same security threat that you have on a motorbike that you have on a public transport.
Right.
However, in our case, we register all our motorbikers. We know who they are. We have their phone numbers, and you also have certain features in the app by which you are tracked, not only by us during your ride duration, but also you can be tracked by your own family members by sending a code. So it's simply because since it's a non-intuitive behavior for many, you tend to question the security. So it's more of a psychological question than a real one.
Right.
Just imagine being at the back of a motorbike where we know all the details and where that person is on real time, compared to being inside a taxi where no one actually knows whom you are with and who that person is.
Right.
Or being in the middle of hundreds of people in a public transport where you do not know who they are.
I think that totally makes sense. And that was, I think, something that I was really concerned about. And thank you for sharing the other side of this concept as well, which is really great. Right now we'll go for another one more song. And and off air we were also talking about some of his favorite music. And then coincidentally, he's also a great time music lover. And so we're going for one of Sixit's favorite numbers. And it's going to be by Tracy Chapman. So अहिलेको लागि यो गीत हामी राख्न गइरहेका छौं, but please be back for more here on Namaste Nepal. Right now, this is Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. आवाज नागरिकको रेडियो नागरिक 96.5 मेगाहर्ज सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ र कार्यक्रम हो नमस्ते नेपाल। हामी 8 बजेदेखि तपाईको साथमा छौं र आज हामी कुराकानी गर्ने क्रममा छौं सिक्सित भट्टसँग। उहाँ हुनुहुन्छ CEO एन्ड को-फाउन्डर अफ टुटल र अहिलेसम्म हामीलाई साथ दिनुभएको छ। सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ भने टुटलको बारेमा धेरै जानकारी यहाँले पाइसक्नु भएको हुनुपर्छ र यसको प्रयोग कसरी गरिन्छ भन्ने अहिले मलाई उहाँले केही एक्सप्लेन गर्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो। यसको सिक्युरिटी कन्सर्नदेखि लिएर कसरी पिक गर्नुहुन्छ, कहाँ कसरी ट्र्याक गरिन्छ भन्ने कुराहरू हामी अफ एयर पनि सेयर गरिरहेका थियौँ र अहिले अब अन एयर हामीलाई युट्युबबाट त हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ, बट यसमा क्लोजली अहिले हामीले तपाईँलाई डिस्प्ले गर्न नसके पनि आई थिङ्क हामी तपाईँलाई चाहिँ सेयर गर्न चाहन्छौँ द्याट यो एपले कसरी काम गर्छ भन्ने कुरामा होइन। तपाईँले फर्स्ट अफ अल दे निड टु डाउनलोड दि एप, टुटल एप, एन्ड दे निड टु रेजिस्टर देयर अकाउन्ट एन्ड वाट्स द फर्दर प्रोसेस?
So you download the app. There are two apps.
Okay.
If you are a biker and you want to give a ride, you download the Total Partner app.
Okay.
If you're a client who wants to go from place A to place B, you download the Total app. So the Total app is on pink color, and the other one is blue.
Okay.
So the Tootle app is our brand color is somewhat similar to Radio Nagarik's brand
Okay.
color. It looks similar. And all you do is download, register, and you're good to go.
Well, there you go. Download and register, and you are good to go. So for more information, you could definitely check out their websites and their pages on social networking sites.
Yes.
How can people get to know more about you?
We're on Facebook as Tootle. We're on Twitter as Tootle Today. We are on Instagram as Tootle Today, and we have our YouTube channel as Tootle Today. So you can just find us in any of the social media, follow us, give us your feedback, and start tootling right away.
Well, there you go. You could just start following them right away, and you could get to know more about them, of what they are doing and how they are doing, and what's the vision that they are carrying. I think that's the most important thing. So you may want to do that as well. So, and also please provide them with your valid feedback. I think they are very, very important for them to grow and for us to grow together. So, and that's that's your tagline as well. Move together, right?
Together we move.
Together we move.
Yeah.
Okay, Tootle, together we move.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sixit, for coming over and sharing all these wonderful concepts and detail about Tootle. I hope हाम्रो listeners अथवा हाम्रो श्रोताहरू जो हुनुहुन्छ उहाँले पनि धेरै कुराहरू थाहा पाउनु भयो होला. अहिलेसम्म धेरै कुराहरू नसुनेका अथवा नबुझेका कुराहरू थिए होला. I'm sure they get to know more about the different sides of this thing. Well, जाँदा जाँदै, I would like to thank you once again. And would you like to say anything to all our listeners or your possible riders for Tootle?
Yeah, do join us. If you're a biker, you can share your rides and give rides to people. Kathmandu is a beautiful city. It's going to be even more beautiful with you giving rides to people and helping people reach their destinations. So thank you for using Tootle if you've already used it.
Great.
And thank you, Mandira, for having me here and having Tootle here. Thank you very much. It was a very enjoyable interview that I had with you.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it, and we're very happy that we got to know more, and I got to meet you in person and share a lot of great information to all our wonderful listeners. And towards the end, we are going to leave you with this great song. This is Mexican Girl by Smokey, and this one is like one of Sixit's favorite numbers. So please enjoy with this song, and also have a great day. Make sure you stay tuned to Radio Nagarik 96.5. I will see you very soon. Until then, take care and have a great time.